Oh, hello. I didn't realize you guys were there today. Good morning. I was just doing a little reading in our fantastic library here at the Aram Center, and I am thinking that it's probably time for the coffee bean, but I was just enjoying some of our fine books here in our library. Um, I want to start off with a full week of school. We're going to have a full week of school this week. We haven't had that for a while. I know you guys probably like breaks and things like that. We all do, but we also like the stability that a schedule brings us, and we're back to that here for the next few weeks of April and then a little bit of May, and then you guys are done for the school year, putting up a wrap on the 25-26 school year. Okay. Um, I am going to talk to you about a couple things today. I'll give you the coffee bean, and then we will roll with an outstanding Monday. Okay. Um, we have a presentation today at 10 o'clock from our veteran friends who are going to talk about etiquette with the flag. And that is a very important subject, and I know some of you have probably heard it before, but it's always good to give them our attention and appreciate them for the sacrifices they made for us, especially when we are having conflict around the world and have soldiers that have died in some of the attacks with Iran, and they're doing things that are trying to keep us safe long term. So please give those veterans that speak to you today respect. And respect is something I want to talk about because last week was a little bit of a rough week at times with respect towards your teachers, towards our paras, towards any of our school staff. You know, I expect our staff to give you respect, and I expect you to respect them. And I've told our staff that if kids are going to be disrespectful, just send them to me and let me work through the process with them, because we're not going to finish the school year having people being disrespectful to each other in class, in the halls, at lunch, things like that. Talking about lunch, I would love for lunch starting today to have appropriate conversations. Um, Lunch is not a time that we talk about inappropriate things for school. All right? If you wonder if something's inappropriate to talk about at school during lunch, then it's inappropriate to talk about, and so don't talk about it. Okay? So that's all I'm going to say about that. I talked about a full week. I talked about the disrespect versus respect. And you know, I think a lot of times the disrespect comes out because someone is actually sad, but instead of letting us know you're sad or not in a good place for that day, you get mad to cover it. And all that does is you lose points, you drop down a level, you know, office referrals. You get bumped down to bronze, and that's no good. I want everybody on gold because that means behaviors are great, attendance is great, and you're taking care of your classes. I know some of you are on bronze this week because of grades. You're not passing classes. Those of you in 9th and 10th grade, your classes really count for credits towards graduation. Those of you in 7th and 8th grade, we are trying to teach you the right habits so when you're in 9th grade, you're successful and you don't have to fail classes, okay? Kids at the Aram Center who pass their classes graduate early. We've seen that time and time again, okay? I had several juniors come back to take the ACT last week who had graduated already. They'd already finished their credits. They'd been gone for a couple of terms already, and they came back to take it because they knew it was a state requirement. All right. So rather than being sad, a lot of you guys are getting mad and getting behavior supported or office referred. Okay. If you're sad, if you've had a rough morning before you come to school, come talk to us. Let's work through it. I would rather that happen and spend time working through something that happened this morning before you came to school, or last night when you were at home, or Saturday night when you were out and about, okay, than have you take it out on your classmates or your teachers. And I don't think you always mean to take it out on them. It just comes out. It boils over. So let's make sure we are working through things that make us sad rather than getting mad this week, okay? I have the list of people here who want to go to the May 7th conference with Miss Rhodes. And there's a lot of you that have signed up that are interested in, and some of you I have started to eliminate because there's so many that want to go and we can only take 6. And attendance, behavior, grades are all what's driving the decision making I'm going to have when I narrow this down to the kids that want to sign the contract committing to stay till the end of the day at the conference. Okay, so some of you are still in the running, some of you have been eliminated. Just like I said, your attendance and your behavior have made it such that I'm like, okay, that's an easy one to figure out who is still on the list, and those are the kids that are coming. Those are the kids that aren't getting behavior supports. Those are the kids that are passing their classes. I mean, it's easy peasy to do that, okay? Now, I want to talk to you today for the coffee bean portion of my video, okay? And I want to talk about confidence, and confidence is a tough thing because confidence is something that every person struggles with one time or another, okay? And I think everybody needs to have confidence, but not arrogance. All right? You know the difference between confidence and arrogance. Confidence means I know I can do this. Arrogance is I'm bragging how well I do it, and I'm putting others down because I do it well. Okay? But when you lose confidence, and we all lose confidence throughout the day. Your staff members lose confidence in certain things throughout the day. Something happens to you, and you're like, God, I really bummed that up. I'm not real confident about that, okay? But when you lose that confidence, you need to remember sometime that you overcame something difficult. You had to tackle something that was hard. You had to make sure you could get through something, okay? And we talk about grit, and that's where confidence comes into play, okay? I lost my confidence and my ability to do something because I did poorly at it. And I think about back to when I had something like that similar happen to me, and I failed, and I tried again in how I was successful. Okay? If you've ever been successful in your life, which every single one of you watching this video has been successful at something in your life, think back to it, okay? And think back to how it felt when you were successful and how that made you gain confidence, all right? At the end of the day, before you go to bed tonight, think about one thing you did today that was successful that gave you confidence, okay? If you do that, you will remember success and have more success, okay? You know, I hope you know that we see you every day you come to school. We hear you with your thoughts and your wishes and things you want to have happen. And we notice you, okay? 8th graders, if you want to go to Kearney High next year and try that out, your parent has to ask me for the application, and I will email them the link. May 1st is the deadline for that application. If you do it after May 1st, the committee will not look and consider you for going to Kearney High School. If you want to go back to if you're a 7th grader and you want to go back to your middle school and do your 8th grade year there, it's the same thing. I need you to have your parent fill out the link. I will take those names to the committee. They will decide on who stays here, who goes back to their home school. 3 things you got to do to be in the running: good attendance, good behavior, good grades. And if you had a rough patch this start of this term, you know, you got between today and May 1st to turn it around if you fill out the form, okay? Remember this, if no one's told you this today, your teachers love you and I love you. So if no one's told you they love you today, we love you. We're glad you're here. Let's have a fantastic